Hello, Knights fans. We're back with this edition of the Knights Baseball Roundup. A very special guest here with me today. It's going to be assistant coach Justin McKay, pinch hitting for head coach Gary Puccio. Justin McKay, many of you know, is now in his 5th season with the Knights. He's in charge of not only the offense for the Knights, but he's also a major contributor with the recruiting. And we're going to learn a little bit today about the Knights recruiting and how you were named the NEC's best recruiter, top recruiter, before the season started. So talk about your experience and your job with the Knights.
Well, it's been pretty easy here because it's funny that I get the award, but it's the kids take the guides on the tours. The administration, I interrupt the athletic director constantly just to meet our families visiting, and so it's just funny that I get the award, but really it's like a whole setup, a whole system that we have that they meet everybody, they talk to professors, so it just turns out that my name's on it, but really it's like a whole team thing.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a testament to your hard work and efforts and everything that you have some good, young, talented freshmen in here, and you're constantly turning in good recruiting classes. What's been the key to the success for you?
Well, it's really kind of understanding the kid that fits well here at FDU and what you're going to get out of him opposed to what he currently is. We want tough kids. There's no question about it. We want tough kids that want the spot and have played at a high level and have been challenged at the high level and failed at the high level, not just, succeeded, because they're going to fail a lot here at this level. So, that's been it. It's been, the team is really, they gel together a lot. So we look for the guys that are very similar in personality-wise with the rest, and that way, they all gel together and they play together and they play for each other. So I think it's really been a gel thing and an atmosphere thing that we really want to create.
So you're in charge of the offense here, and Coach Gary Puccio, he handles mostly the starting pitching and the bullpen. Your offense has obviously thrived this season. You're tops in the NEC in batting average. You're right up there in home runs, slugging, on-base percentage, all the categories there. What has been the key to the success of the offense this season?
Yeah, first and foremost, I'd love us to have more success so it'd help with more wins, for sure. But really, these guys work really hard, and we prep a lot. Our motto as an offense is have lack of preparation be your biggest fear. So every weekend we're going in prepared for what we think is prepared. As you can see right now, they're hitting behind us, on their own time. And so it's a lot of work. It's a lot of game plan. It's a lot of understanding what you want to do with your bats, understanding who you are as a person and what your strengths you should be using. And then they're pretty damn good players too. They're talented. And that's what this freshman recruiting class was mainly about, was a lot about position players. So next year's the pitchers.
Yeah, obviously you've got a lot of contributions from the freshmen, but not to forget the senior class. We recently just got done eating over at Maggiano's here in Hackensack. You had the senior night awards for all the teams, but obviously your 4 seniors got honored this season. Some guys that have a lot of accolades in Logan Frady, Ryan Brennan, Matt McCann, and then a 2-year player who's also been a big contributor, Danny Dimitrops. Talk about that foursome in that senior class.
Yeah, it's funny that they graduate and you can't give them more. Like, as a coach staff, we're never going to give them anywhere near what they gave us. It's just been, let's talk about Ryan Brennan's been here 5 years. That kid's bled this program. Again, no award he achieves, no dinner we give them, nothing. There's nothing we could do to pay them back, but the least we could do is anything for them. To be honest with you, Logan, another guy that's bled the program since he's been a conference starter since day one. Matt McCann has become just a real player that brings people to the ballpark to see him. And Danny Dimitrops has been a gem in this program since the day, just from a personality standpoint, a leadership standpoint, he's been a gem. So again, no matter what we present them, plaques, awards, whatever, we're never going to be able to equal what they gave us. So I hope that they have the best weekend possible this weekend, from a winning standpoint, number one, from a success standpoint, from an environment, from an experience standpoint. I hope their families, their parents have a great weekend. This weekend is about 2 things: the winning and making sure these seniors enjoy their experience. So
yeah, they've obviously left their mark on not only the record books but this program as a whole. To get into the record side of it, obviously Matt McCann last week, Coach Puccio and I talked, got the stolen base record. This week he breaks the 200 hit mark, which is he's 4th all time in hits. You got Logan Frady getting his 200 strikeout. How impressive are these feats as they start to accrue them?
To talk about kind of a player like Matt McCann is, nobody knew he was at 200 hits. He was at 199 until a parent said it in the crowd. And so that's the kind of kid you get with Matt McKay. He doesn't care about that. He wants to make sure he leaves here a winner. And so, obviously he achieved that, and it was low key based on his, how he wanted it. And Logan the same way. Went about his business. 200 strikeouts is a lot of strikeouts. And, he's earned it. I mean, these guys have earned it. Yeah.
So you just had a tough series in here. It's really crunch time, obviously, with the tightness of the NEC standings as the season rolls away. Tough 3-game series with Wagner here. What'd you see on the whole? I know you guys, you had the first win. You let maybe game 2 go, and game 3 was the back and forth. What did you see on a whole from the series?
Yeah, what's going on is we're playing so many freshmen as position players. And when you do that, so we've been in a lot of games, and we had a chance, opportunity to win a lot of games. However, when you play so many freshmen in the lineup, when those key moments come up, for us, a majority of the time, a freshman's had to make them, and they really haven't experienced many of those plays. We had a play this weekend where a guy called off another guy, but however, where in high school, he's not used to the other guy being anywhere near the baseball, most likely. So they've been in these situations that they've never had to deal with, which is why I think this particular freshman recruiting class as position players is going to be one of the best in this program history, because they're going to have so much adversity that they've gone through and so many things that they've had to been put in the fire for. So I think that's what, very few games have been blown by one of our older guys' plays. It's just we found that, they found the young guys because there's so many of them. So in essence, as the season goes on, though, and you plug that up, we could be pretty dangerous,
Yeah, you've been in a lot of these games, even in the non-conference schedule. Obviously, there were a lot of games that went back and forth, but you are getting a lot of good experience for these freshmen, Salo Iza, Brandon Seltzer, and so forth, and obviously the pitchers. One pitcher who's been really having some success lately out of the bullpen is James Sharkey, and I know that's been a focal point to try to get more innings out of your bullpen and get some more quality performances. Just talk a little bit briefly about what he's been contributing with.
Yeah, I mean, Sharkey is the real deal. He's been up to 93. When his arm is fresh and ready to go, he's high 80s to 90. Good breaking ball, big kid, clean arm. Sharkey has everything that you need from a freshman to end up being pretty good. So, I expect him to be pretty good. I expect him to continue to develop as an athlete. And he's got a 2.9 or something like that ERA in conference, which, stats aren't everything, but however, that's very respectable for his type of outings he had to face in conference. So, I expect big things out of him. I expect him to get much better as the years go on, and as that velocity comes up, and he doesn't have to depend on, if he jumps even higher, then he won't have to depend on it as much, be able to locate a little bit better.
Yeah, so you talked a little bit about this weekend. Obviously, Sunday, it's a big weekend because you'll be honoring your senior class with the annual Senior Day.
Yeah.
But obviously, a big game for the standings. This is your final homestand here against LIU before you head on the road to Central. Every one of these games is going to count, as it's really going to be a tight race for those final 2 playoff spots in the NEC. Just talk about what you're expecting to see against your team against LIU.
Yeah, I mean, it's ugly because you start 6-1 and then you end up in this situation, but it's also great because it's going to be an intense baseball weekend. We're going to get to play games that really, really matter, and we got to win, and how else do you want it, especially if you're the older guys. So, that's going to be key this weekend. Each game, people want to talk about this scenario happens. I'm focused on Friday's first game. Those 9 innings are the first, and once we, I want our team focused on that as well. We're focused on the first game on Friday. We'll deal with the second game when we get to the second game. We'll deal with third and fourth game when we get to it. Most importantly, we got to come out and play well game 1 on Friday, and then take it from there.
All right. Well, good luck this weekend, Coach, with everything. Good luck in the playoff run. So the Knights will host LIU Brooklyn here at the Namoli Family Baseball Complex. That series will now be moved up a little bit here. We're going to have a doubleheader beginning at 12:30 on Friday, and then we'll see how the weekend plays out. They are scheduled to play 2 more games, either Saturday or Sunday, all weather permitting. For all information about the FDU Knights and the FDU Knights baseball team, head to FDUKnights.com.